talking about the 9 things all private trustees must know. Now, this is like very interesting, in my opinion. It's like a cult of personality when it comes to trust administration and these things, so on and so forth. It's almost as though a lot of people look at it as some sort of mysterious cult. To be a private trustee, it's interesting to me, to say the least, and I don't look at it as this secret cult, mysterious Illuminati type dance. It's not. It's private information. When you understand the difference between public and private, when you understand that we were educated in public schools, when we understand that, we have, jobs are in the public, our corporation is public, the court is public, driver's license are public. When we understand that all this stuff is public, it kind of makes sense to why we haven't really been taught private information. What is the realistic sensibility behind an expectation that the public would teach private information? I don't know. I know there's a lot of people who are upset, a lot of people who feel a certain way, you've been lied to, so on and so forth. But the thing about ignorance is ignorance can be corrected. And with regards to, making corrections, I just want to chop up these nine things that all private trustees must know. And it's going to be kind of rudimentary, going to be kind of fundamental. I understand that, there's always new listeners. There's always going to be new listeners listening to the show. There's always going to be new people. I'm not always or exclusively just talking or thinking about the regular people who check out the show. Even people who are in trustee training. A lot of y'all know this, and that's cool. But this show is really for the public. And it's to reach out to people new in the public. So I'm not trying to get convoluted, and I really, really seriously dislike so-called gurus in the public trying to sell what I call a 12-step. I Fisher Price my new trustee set little package, and then when you have questions, when you have issues, when you need something, when you need guidance, when you're in a specific situation and it's not going the way that it's supposed to, you can't get a hold of these gurus. They're disappeared. Their number doesn't work. They don't answer the phone. Or they do answer the phone, you ask a question, and they get upset with you. They get mad at you. Like, how dare you ask me a question after I done took all your money? It's really audacious in my opinion. So, part of the reason that we, here do the foundation here on High Frequency Radio, on High Frequency Radio is to help y'all know what the true foundation is with regards to, interfacing with the public, commerce. And that foundation is based on entities. These entities can be public or private, and we get into trust heavily. Why? Because, the trust is private. We can administer the entities, the estate itself through multiple entities that are set up through contracts that are protected, constitutionally protected, and are not governed nor created under any type of legislation. This is a very powerful position to be in. And, I pull no punches when it comes to describing, the powers of a private trustee, private trust contract. And I pull no punches when it comes to, calling out so-called gurus that got their hands on a good document or two, read it, and have really good comprehension skills, but have no actual experience when it comes to administering their private estate, but they want to teach everyone else how to do their private estate and charge them all types of money and stuff like this. I have a problem with that, I have a problem with that. There's nothing noble, in my opinion, with regards to that. So, number one, I'm sure you could probably guess, the first thing all private trustees must know is what is a trust, man. You got to understand what a trust is, straight up. A trust is a special type of legal relationship. Let me just break it down. Black's Law Dictionary defines a trust as a right of property. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. When we get into right of property and property rights, how do you substantiate a right of property or property rights? Through the what? Through the submission of some sort of deed, right? If you're talking about real estate, real property, how do you get your hands on a deed? Through a purchase agreement. What is a purchase agreement? It's a contract. So a right of property, how do you substantiate a right of property? It's a good question. But a trust is a right of property held by one party for the benefit of another. Specifically, you can say that a trust is a confidence that one person places in another person for the benefit of a third person. That third person can be a child, it can be a grown adult, it can be a grandparent, it could be another trust. It can be a public park, But it is basically it's confidence and trust but this confidence is usually with respect to property that the trustee holds for the benefit of the beneficiary. It's a typical type of arrangement. It's typically known as a PAT, capital P, capital A, capital T, or principal agent third-party arrangement. Also, in these types of situations, a fiduciary relationship exists because the trustee owes fiduciary duties to the beneficiary. A fiduciary is one who is in a special position of trust, confidence, or responsibility to do things for others. The first of 9 things you got to know that all private trustees must know is what a trust is. Number 2, let's jump into number 2. Number 2 of the 9 things all private trustees must know is that the trust is a separate entity. The trust is treated as a separate entity for tax purposes. All money earned by the trust, all money earned by the trust, all money earned by the not assigned, not gifted, all money earned by the trust is taxed to the trust unless it is distributed to beneficiaries. The tax deductions taken by the trust can only benefit the trust, no one else. The single most important advantage of creating a separate entity for tax purposes, some would say, be income splitting. I don't necessarily like that phrase. Asset protection, tax mitigation. A trust is treated as a separate entity for liability purposes in most states. When a trust enters into a contract with someone and the trust breaches the contract, the only person that can be sued is the trust. This is very important and very crucial. And this is why the administration of business trust is included in trustee training. Because it's most of the time that is going to be the business trust is the entity in relation to the overall estate that is entering into contracts with persons or people in the public. The only property or money the suing party can get is the property held in the name of the trust. This is called limited liability. It doesn't just exist in the public in a means by which statutes are prescribed for limited liability. Those are statutory entities. Also, when the grantor places property in trust irrevocable, the property is beyond the reach of creditors. This is the reason why we deal in irrevocable trusts. And then a lot of people say, oh, it's irrevocable. You don't have any power. You can lose everything. And whole bunch of fear being pumped everywhere. You don't own anything. You just control it for a short period of time, typically. And it's very rare in a lifetime where you control something your entire life. Think about it. Not a car, not a house, not your even children that you would control your children your entire life. Eventually, they go to control themselves. So I mean, this whole thing, we gotta hate. It's in order for the trust to be a separate entity, you need and this is the sub part. And I'm gonna subsection nine things all private trustees must know. Number 2, subsection A, 4 elements needed to create a trust. 1, A-1, intent to create a trust. There must be an expressed intent by the grantor indicating he or she desires to, or purposes that a trust be created. So you gotta have the intent. That's absolutely important. That's going to be represented or reflected in the contract indenture itself. Typically, that's going to be in the declaration of trust. That's going to be stipulated. But it's necessary. Number 2, so A.2, specific description of the property. The initial corpus of the trust or the initial property that constitutes the trust must be specifically identified within the document. Specific description of the property the grantor is transferred into trust to the trustees. Land should be by legal description, and personal property should be described so it can be easily identified. It's not going to hurt if you put a serial number in there, if you put a sticker, property of the such and such family trust. This will go a long way when you're talking about whose property is whose. A3. Name of the trustees. You got to have the name of the trustees in there. And A4, name of the beneficiaries. You got to have at least, blah, blah. So let's jump to number 3 out of the 9 things all private trustees must know. And I'm just going to be honest, man. A lot of people mess this up. A lot of people don't even know about this. But you got to have a notice. In look, to ensure protection, the notice must be affixed by exhibit, inked, stamped, or handwritten statement to every contract signed by the trustees with regards to limited liability. And this notice, I would suggest that it includes that, the creditors can only look to specific persons for payment of debts or breach of contract. And you want to specify that. And you can see this in Betts versus Hackathorn, Betts, the Hackathorn, just Hackathorn, 159 ARK 621, Arkansas. It's also in the Burns versus Chase National Bank, BYRNES versus Chase National Bank. And I suggest that y'all read Supreme Court cases with regards to adjudication of matters involving trust contracts, breach of the contract with the trust, or, I suggest that you read these things. I definitely suggest you read these things. So that would be, number 3 would be the limited liability notice affixed by exhibit. And you find precedent, like I said, Betts versus Hackathorn and Burns versus Chase National Bank. If you don't know this stuff, when you figure it out, it's going to be you figuring it out through trial and error. And trial and error is not that dope, especially if you can avoid that. It's really not that dope. Let's go to number 4 out of the 9 things that all private trustees must know. Number 4 is that a trust must have an economic reality or a business interest. Must have an economic reality. It's crucial. How do you define an economic reality? You can be very, very creative, but an economic reality is absolutely or business purpose. But, must have an economic reality. And a lot of times, that economic reality can be, the care and benefit of the beneficiaries. Asset trust, that's something different, but you can still substantiate that economic reality. It's not an issue, especially if you know the specific phraseology, as well as if you know the overall and original points of authority that our trust, what they stand on. I think that's of absolute importance. Let's jump into number 5. Number 5 is you got to remember the 2 simple rules, baby. And these are with keeping records. And these 2 simple rules, you follow these 2 simple rules, keeping records, you will never have any major troubles in record keeping. These 2 rules, which make up number 5 of the 9, is do it now, not later. That's number 1. Do it now, not later. As a trustee, you need to know. You must know that you got to do it now and not later when it comes to record keeping. And you must know, number 2, that you got to write it down exactly what it was for. You got to write down exactly. Don't use shorthand. Oh, I'm just going to put 2 letters and a number, and I'll remember. You're not going to remember. You're absolutely not going to remember, especially under pressure. You give yourself way too much credit. Time passes, and we forget things. And when it comes to record keeping, do it now, not later, and write it down for exactly what it was for. 100% exactly what it was for. The most typical allegation that you're going to get with regards to administering a trust is self-dealing or co-mingling. Improper records knocks all of those allegations out of the park, out of the way. Out. So I can't stress it enough. Let's jump into number 6. Number 6 of the 9 things all private trustees must know. You must understand what an adverse trustee relationship is. A lot of people get this wrong. A lot of people get this so wrong. And this is a very important part of private trusteeship. An adverse trustee is a trustee that would be adversely affected if you did something that you weren't supposed to do, or you didn't do something that you were supposed to do as a trustee. Let's say you were supposed to pay the rent for the space where the trust does business, and you forgot to pay the rent, and the entire trust got evicted. That adversely affects other trustees. They got to move. They might not get paid. They got to do extra work. That's an adverse relationship. You have to have others who would be adversely affected in the trustee position. The actions and actions got to be approved by adverse trustees. Otherwise, there's a risk that the trust will be considered a grantor type trust. A lot of people be like, well, the grantor is irrevocable, blah, blah, blah. Nah, man. If you're the trustee administering the trust and they're trying to pin that transaction on you, each transaction will be treated as a grantor type transaction for the trustees, man. For you, co-mingler. The self-dealer, you. The one who didn't understand the adverse trustee relationship. And this is something to look into. You may have never heard this before in your life and thought you was razzle-dazzling with trust and never heard about adverse trustee relationship or an adverse party. And most people time, court proceedings and stuff, the adverse, that's the person who's, okay, well, when it comes to trust administration, it's a little different and it's very important. So adverse trustee relationship, look into it. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not anything that you can't get a good hold on through just looking into it. You know, you'll understand. Let me move on. Number 7. Number 7 out of 9. 9 things all private trustees must know. This is a bonus. I'm going to do a bonus. Insurance and the trust. Ordinarily, the insured owns their life insurance policies. That means the policy is in his or her name, and he or she is called the policy owner. One of the biggest estate tax advantages is to get the ownership of the life insurance policy out of the insured name and into the name of the trust. This is not a difficult task. The owner merely contacts the issuing insurance company indicating that they want to transfer the policy ownership into the name of the trust. In transferring a life insurance policy into the trust, it is important that premiums be paid by the trust, not by the insured. Payments for fire, auto, or the like types of insurance are ordinary and necessary expenses of the trust if they are to protect and preserve the property of the trust. That is a jewel. Y'all heard me. Y'all know me. I feel like everybody should have some sort of life insurance policy, at least one, on themselves and their heirs. Ordinary and necessary expenses, especially life insurance with the cash value. I mean, a cash value that, you know, the trust can borrow against. I mean, imagine that. Imagine that. All right, what we got? Number 8? We got number 8? Number 8 of 9. 9 things all private trustees must know is ordinary expenses. When it comes to trust, the most common expense you will have during the year will be ordinary expenses. There are only about 25 categories with which you need to be concerned. Remember, you must write down all of the information you can on the trust expense sheet each time. If you are not able to figure out the bookkeeping category, at least be sure to enter the other information. Business expenses. This does not include the work you do for your employer. It means a business that you have separate and apart from your everyday salary deployment. Business expenses could be advances, auto expenses, beneficiary distributions, consulting fees, charitable contributions, credit card payments, house expenses, installment payments, insurance, interest paid, medical and dental. When trust money is paid out for medical expense item, it is called a medical expense. Be very sure to document it exactly. Prior year distribution, repair and maintenance, rental expenses, tax and property taxes, telephone and utilities, trust supplies, trust travel, miscellaneous expenses, trust taxation potentially. All of these are allowable expenses. And then there are other allowable expenses according to the trust indenture that reduce the taxable income of the trust. Let me jump into number 9 right here. Number 9. 9 of 9. 9 things all private trustees must know. Trustees must understand and know trustee liability protection provisions. In the event The contract trust is sued by a would-be judgment creditor. Trustees must know liability protection provisions, and they must be attached by exhibit in all contracts that the trust enters into. Unless otherwise provided in the contract, a trustee is not personally liable on a contract property entered into the trustee's fiduciary capacity in the course of administrating the trust, unless the trustee fails to reveal the trustee's representative capacity, identify the trust in the contract, or include trustee liability protection provisions within the contract. Very important. I think all 9 are important. I got a couple extra. A lot of people talk about the common law. What you know about common law, federal? Common law, federal law. Federal common law, what is known as, is judge-made law as defined by the courts, which consist of those principles, usages, and rules of action applicable to government and security of persons and property, which do not rest for their authority upon any express and positive declaration of the will of the legislature made law. In United States versus Merchant, 25 U.S. 480, the court said that the courts of the United States are bound to recognize and enforce the common law. You have the common law right to contract unlimited. Please understand that. And let me jump out here, and last but not least, let me jump on this real quick. A juristic person is a legal entity created by law rather than by nature, but still having many of the same rights, privileges, freedoms, obligations, and responsibilities of natural persons. A corporation is a juristic person. A trust is a contract between 2 or more parties, natural or juristic. And I think that's important to understand. You know, there's more things to understand. I suggest you get in trustee training as soon as you can. The world is changing. The economy's changing. Everything's changing. It's changing as we speak. A lot of people are saying, I can't wait till things get back to normal. I don't think things are going back to normal. I think this is the new normal, and I think that we all need to adjust for what it is. We have, a lot of stuff going on between China and the U.S. China supplies a lot of the United States goods, cheap goods from China. That's pretty much going to go away. Manufacturing will return to America. It's just up to those who can see whether they will be manufacturing at a business that they created and control, or working for someone else as an employee manufacturing. Things aren't going anywhere. People are going to still need to go places. People are going to still need to eat. People are going to still need education. People are going to still want loans. People are going to still want to be distracted. So, entertainment isn't going anywhere. There's a lot of things that aren't going anywhere. Disney Plus said they have like 100 million subscribers or something like that. Their stock is going increasing as we speak. It's just a transition. This wealth transfer that's happening right now, to me, is a precursor to this entire transition of what we're going through. And you either become independent or you remain dependent. And those who are independent are typically always angry, spiteful, or judgmental of those who are not, of those who are independent. And it's, it's really up to you what you decide to do, and it's based off of what you do and what you don't do, your determination, your willpower, your consistency, and your dedication. And that's what it's about. That's all it's about as far as I'm concerned. And I think the biggest part is changing your lifestyle, changing the things you do. And one of the best ways you can change your lifestyle is to, quote, go private. To learn how to administer your estate as a private trustee. To learn how to administer your business trust, your family's asset trust, your family's family trust, your family's business trust, all these things. You learn how to administer these things. It's a change in your lifestyle. And if you understand what a change in lifestyle is, then you understand what's necessary. Is it work? Yeah, it's work. Is it rewarding? Yes, it's rewarding. Is it worth it? Absolutely, it's worth it. We're talking about multiple generations. We're talking about multiple generational wealth. You see, I made a decision. I made a conscious decision that I'm doing everything in my power now so that my heirs, my great-great-grandchildren, do not have to grow up poor like I did. It was whack. It was horrible. It was very traumatic. A lot of self-esteem issues, a lot of self-worth issues. A lot of stuff came out of that stuff, but it's not even cool. So out of true love, for self, I took myself out of that situation. And out of true love for my family, I work every day so that my heirs will not have to experience that. Real quick, we got about 30 seconds left in the broadcast. If you're checking us out live, you want to call in right now, 424-222-5250. Otherwise, you will be disconnected and cut off. And you're going to have to check out too late. He's streaming. So as I was saying, there's certain things that I experienced that, if I have a choice, which I do, I will ensure that, mine don't experience that. And that's the multi-generational wealth aspect. That's the runway aspect. That's the financial endowments aspect. Private founder stock aspect. Private placement accounts aspect. These types of things with multi-generational wealth instrumentalities such as life insurance policies, whole life policies that pay dividends. What? Dividend-paying insurance. Private financial education, which equals and equates to private financial freedom. Nothing's going to change about your life sitting around being upset, sitting around blaming other people. What changes your life is what you do and what you don't do. And when you have this private information, when you are informed, you can make sure that your family is informed so that your grandchildren don't know poverty. Your children don't know hunger pains. The most noble quest of all. And if you're not with it, I get it. I understand. No disrespect. But times are changing. You may say for the better, some may say for the worst, but I can guarantee you things are changing. I know a lot of y'all are really into what I'm saying right now because you were listening to me a few years ago and I was telling y'all that this was coming. So I have a lot of people hit me up. I have a lot more contact than I did before this thing happened, this whole pandemic thing happened, and then the riots happened, and it got crazy. But it's not over. It's not over in any way, shape, or form. You need to actively reduce your dependency on the public. Otherwise, you're shackling yourself as well as your heirs. Hands down. I don't care if you don't like what you're hearing. I don't care. You can say whatever you want to say to yourself to make yourself feel better about not doing what you know you're supposed to be doing. And that's cool. No hard feelings. But definitely there will be hard times for those who did not take heed. And I'm not just talking about your private family estate. I'm not just talking about getting into trustee training. It's not just that. You need to become more self-sufficient. You need to start growing your own food. Set up a grow, a grow spot in your home. Get some grow lights. Grow some tomatoes or something. Anything helps. Start making your own clothes, fashioning your own clothing. That stuff needs to come back in style. We need to really reduce our dependency on the public. But mainly, it's my mission to help you reduce your dependency on the public with regards to the entity that you use to do business, to generate income based off the exchange of your energy that you exchange for whatever, Federal Reserve notes, gold, silver, time, energy, it doesn't matter. And the use of the public entities, the straw man, the all cap name, whatever, I don't care. The LLC, the partnership, the sole proprietorship, the DBA, all that stuff is public, fam. I don't care what you're saying. I don't care if you say you're going to capture it. I'm going to capture it in the trust. Y'all are tripping. Y'all are absolutely tripping. Show me someone who did that. Bring them to me. Straight up. And I'll put him on the air, and he can teach everybody. I ain't no hater, but look, I've been around the world, man, and I've been all over this country. And I consider Yusuf L family. And it's way more accessible for us to get our business and entities together than for us to figure out this public, whatever you're talking about. And that's singular. You're talking about an individual. How you going to not only protect that, but pass that on to your heirs privately? Can you guarantee that? Can you guarantee that your energy is not in vain? I can guarantee you jump in trustee training, your energy is not in vain. You will have real world results. But you got to do it. It's up to you 100%. This stuff is changing. It's changing every day. Every day you go to sleep, every night you go to sleep, every day you wake up, it's going to be different. It's a little different. And either you're gonna see what's going on and you're gonna move accordingly, or you're not gonna see what's going on and things gonna be moving on you, and you're gonna feel frustrated, and you're not gonna feel stable, and you're not gonna feel comfortable. Ain't nobody saving me. I don't know about you. Maybe somebody's saving you. I don't know. I know ain't nobody saving me. So, admin at welcometothefoundation.com. Trustee training. Set up that LLC. But, if you don't have the interest of the LLC in a private trust to distribute the taxable income to and not the individual, think about it. Just think about it. Think about what I'm saying. But do your own research. I could be lying, hey, I could be straight up tripping right now. But I just want the best for y'all, and I see what's coming. This stuff ain't over. It's just getting started, y'all. And I'm not talking, get scared. If you ain't going to do anything, if you don't sit in a corner and cover your eyes, then get scared. You should probably get scared right now. Probably the time for you to start freaking out. But if you have conviction, if you have will, and you know that you ain't finna take this laying down, and you know that when you get on the other side of this wealth transfer, that you will be better, and that you will have been on the receiving side of the wealth transfer instead of the losing side of the wealth transfer, you're going to be good. You're going to be all right. You're going to figure it out. You're going to be straight. I want to talk to you. I want to holler at you. Let's do business. I need people like you around. You can make two choices. You can either make moves, email admin at welcometothefoundation.com, get in trustee training, get your businesses set up, get your public LLC set up, get the business credit profile set up, get your private estate in order, private, contract, protected, and get your mind right. Start investing your time, energy, and so-called money in income-producing assets, or at least assets that hold their value, and stop spending money and start investing money on behalf of your private estate. It brings things way more into perspective, and it has allowed me, as being a private trustee from a private trust estate, it has allowed me to be more professional. I was telling one of the trustees yesterday, as a trustee of my private estate, it's not about friendships and stuff, especially, when it comes to business. But, we become trustees and maybe we got money or we have access to money or we're in control of cash and we want to help out our people and stuff. You know how to do this? Come do it. You know how to do this? Come do it. Instead of finding actual professionals that can handle the real business properly. Now, me, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to professionals, those who know what they're doing. That's their job. And that's no disrespect to family members, but if that's not your job, I'm not talking to you about something that's not your job just to give you some money. I'm doing you a disservice, and I'm doing my private estate a disservice. And that's just where I come from. It's no disrespect. It's just proper business. Personally, we can go, hey, let's go play basketball. Let's go play soccer. Let's hang out. Let's go get some nachos, whatever. But as far as you having anything to do with the private family estate, there's a much higher, rigorous bar that you must meet in order to be over here with the private estate, business, having access. Hey, it's different. We ain't talking basketball no more. We talking something really deep. We talking multiple generations. We talking about opportunity costs. We're talking about some serious stuff. So, it's allowed for me to be more professional. It's allowed for me to, be more accountable. How about that? And through that accountability, it has benefited my private estate immensely. I don't even know how to explain it to you, because I feel like I know the fact that if you tell people your successes and what your experience is with excitement sometimes, and you're talking to people who haven't experienced what you're telling them and don't know, and don't feel like they can get it, most time they feel like you're stunting on them. There's been times, I'll let people in my, recording in my studio, hooked them up with care packages, gave them rides, picked them up, and fools resented me. Oh, he think he all that. He like to stunt on people. He like to show off. I'm not showing off. I'm showing love. You know how many times me showing love has been misconstrued as me trying to show off? Like I care about showing off in front of fools. Like I really care what anybody thinks. about me. For real? But just for you, I'm going to show off. That's why I can't really talk about, my successes and stuff like that, because I understand how it's perceived in most cases. But I can tell you for a fact that learning how to properly administer a private trust changed my life immensely. You'd have told me 7-8 years ago, hey, in about, around 2020, you will have been, doing a internet radio show for like over 4 years, helping your people reestablish your stuff. Owning properties, just doing all that. Man, I wouldn't have believed you. I would not have believed you. Life wasn't too cool in 2013. Biggest thing is we got to let go of the immediate gratification and be willing to, what I would say is put in that work. So, like I said, if you're willing to put in that work, admin at welcometothefoundation.com. Is it going to be easy? Probably not. Will it be rewarding? I guarantee it. You stick to it, you put your work into it, and anytime you start thinking self-defeatist thoughts, you remember what you worked for, you remember your heirs, you remember them multi-generations, and keep it pushing. This stuff will change your life. It will change your life. It will change the quality of your life. You will be able to do different things. But enough of that. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to go to the phone lines. Let me take a couple calls real quick. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I do this for y'all. I want to see y'all. I want to see y'all happy, man. I really do. This is important to me. Let me go to the phone line. So let me go to, what is it, Texas, 214-2375, area code 214-2375. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Peace up, it's down. What's up?
Hey, what's up, man? Peace. How you doing?
So far, all right. I had to step out of the laundry room. I was doing laundry, and then went to the phone lines on me, so that is what that is.
My bad. You want me to bring you in a minute? Let you finish
No,
up?
man. It's all good. Wash or fill up, and then I can throw the sheets in. It's cool. But, yeah, so just wanted to touch in, say thank you for having another good show. Definitely people need to get serious about, administering their not really even administering their own estate, but getting their whole life structured properly. And like you said, significance and being not about self, but about what you leave for the next generation and the generation after that. And, making sure that it stays touchable by, folks inside your network. So appreciate the work, and then want to know when I can link up with you on the private side.
Call me tomorrow.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, you still got my number, right?
Yeah, man, I've been hitting you up. Voicemail box full. Not responding to text messages, whole thing.
All right, I got you. Yeah, give me a call tomorrow, man. Sorry about that.
Hey, it's all good. That means business is good. If you're busy and you're working, then everything's going the way it should be. Nah, I'm trying to get in that position here in the next year or two. So need a little bit of coaching. Got to touch base with the Ace.
I'm here, man. I got you. I got your back, man.
Right.
Whatever I can do to help.
All right. Well, that's all I wanted. And then peace to all the listeners and all the folks in trustee training and everybody that's thinking about it. Like, time is running short. Get on it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things, man. Appreciate you calling in, man. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Okay, man.
All right,
Peace. Be easy.
Peace.
You too, man. Let me do. 484-0472. It's a lot of fours. 3 4s. 484-0472. Peace. Which name are you calling from? Four 0472. 484. Hit your mute button. No.
So what's up, man? I ain't hit one though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, you in the queue, but it's all good.
Yo, I don't know. It was a freak. Listen, man, that was a freak accident. I don't know. I'm looking at my phone right now. When you read the number, I'm like, well, that's a silly number. That ain't like, oh, dude, my bad, good brother. I just want to say keep doing the good work. Hope everybody online listening. I'm going to mute myself. You know what I mean? 'Cause I ain't hit the button. My bad.
All good, family. It's all good. Appreciate you, man. It happens. And there went the screen. So I guess I'm done with the callers. That's cool. I'm up out of here anyways, y'all. So if you want, for those of you who stayed to the end of the show, I'm gonna let you know that this show was brought to you by a document that I was reading from. You can email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com, and I will send you said document. It is a 64-page document. I am writing it down right now, so when y'all email me, I know which one it is and can easily find it. But yeah, like I said, you know, the reason why I read from documents is because if y'all are interested, I can send it to you, you know. And then when I go off the top of the head for a show, people email me and be like, yo, send me the document you was reading from. And I'll be like, man, I wasn't reading from a document. And then I'll read from a document, and then that way y'all can get the document. Or maybe I should start creating our own documents. Maybe that's for another time, though. But I appreciate y'all checking out the show. I appreciate y'all, especially those of you who stayed to the end of the show, you know. Definitely want to say peace. I definitely want to say peace to Yusufel, man. You know, he's been going in lately. You know, he did an interview. He interviewed this person, this guy who's running for the Senate, I think. And I kind of like where he's going. You know, I like where he's going. I like where he's going. I really do. I saw some comments. People like, "Oh, we shouldn't vote in the public," blah blah blah. Hey, look, you know, if he can use his platform to, you know, I don't know, to at least get some information out and put some people on the spot, let alone, you know, have some control or, you know, some effect in his local politics, more power to that brother, you know. So, you know, I'm really digging that. But with that being said, I'm really digging y'all. Like, you know, I really appreciate, you know, the OGs. I appreciate y'all, the trustees. I appreciate all y'all who's been checking out the show since, you know, before it was the foundation. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to those of you who, you know, hit me up and got a consultation or hit me up and got in trustee training and worked really hard and changed your life. Like, I want to say peace to y'all. Like, I appreciate y'all. And then I'm really humbled when y'all be like, yo, so I want to thank you. And I'd be like, yo, I didn't do it. You did it. You did it. So, you know, not only to inspire, but to assist and help and to, you know, to grow. That's what I'm here to do for y'all, you know, my people, y'all, you know. So, you know, with that being said, I appreciate y'all. Like I said, you know, I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon as far as the foundation is concerned. I have been thinking about, you know, maybe getting on YouTube and doing them YouTube lives, but I ain't showing my face on the internet, man. You know, my face is already on the internet. So, in a different capacity. But, you know, I don't know. We got things changing, things different going on, and, you know, I'm going to really start talking about finance things I know about finance, because once we get our private estate set up, we need to deal properly in finance. So I'm working on some finance stuff for y'all. Got some new stuff coming out, man. I'm just, hey, I'm going to keep it moving and keep expanding, and we're going to see what happens. So, I look forward to the future. I trust you do as well. If you don't look forward to the future, you need to email me, admin@welcometothefoundation.com, and get into these trustee training. Hands down. And Private Family Foundation, we got people out here. I got this young brother, man. I see the brother's under 25 years old, about to get his tax exempt entity. I'm proud. I am proud of Trustees, y'all. Straight up. So any trustees listening, man, woo, y'all doing y'all dance. And any future trustees listening, man, I'm ready to be proud of you. This is for everybody, man. Everybody can learn how to administer a private entity. And some people, it makes them feel smart and strokes their ego to tell people that not everybody can do it. I'll definitely tell you that it's not for everybody, but everyone can do it. So, hey, I believe in you. And I know that you deserve better. And you're going to get it, but you got to work. But I'm going to help you. And, whenever you're ready, admin@welcometothefoundation.com. Let's get you straight. Let's get you right. Let's get you educated. Let's get you privately educated. You know what I mean? I think that's the most important. So, with that being said, I love y'all, man. I really do. I know it sounds corny and cheesy and all that dance, but I really do. I'm at a point in my life where, I've been reflecting on, my early life and really, really contemplating and determining what I want to be remembered for. And I guess the biggest thing I want to be remembered for is, right now at least, is that I did my best to be significant in people's lives and to affect significant change in people's lives, not for a selfish pursuit, but more for an altruistic pursuit. I like to see people happy. I walk through I'm walking down the street and, somebody's singing and dancing, cleaning their car or something, and they're happy. That makes me happy, man. Smiles are contagious. Happiness is contagious. And, the Creator knows that I've had more than my share of unhappiness at the hands of others, at my own hands. So, we all deserve it. You deserve it. I deserve it. But we got to work for it. Nothing comes for free. And it was a struggle getting out the womb into this world. So I don't know what people think they're going to get here and not have to struggle. But at least it'd be for something. And, if I can say anything before we end the show, it's time to stop worried about being successful and start being concerned with how you can make your life significant. Significant to yourself, to your people who care about you, to your family, and to future generations. Think about that. And I will catch you next week on the hottest radio network on the planet. Y'all have a great week. Enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself. Make sure you say 10 things that you're thankful for before you go to sleep at night. And I'll catch you next time right here on High Frequency Radio Network. Y'all enjoy yourself. Like I said, take care of yourself. And like I said, 10 things you're thankful for before you go to sleep tonight. And I'll catch you on the next one. Right here on the Foundation on High Frequency Radio Network. Peace to the gods.
Doing this thing all the way live. High Frequency Radio.